Welcome back to Distant Nights, episode 5. We haven't got high enough for me to miscount that yet. Where we last left off, our group had joined up with the fleet investigating the mysterious disappearance of the ACS starship, the Distant Sun, out in the Ifrit sector. About 6 months after that happened, they joined up with a fleet that went searching. There were mysterious recordings from the... Wow, this is explained well. There were mysterious recordings received from the Distant Sun. So they basically got a ship together called the Distant Nights and put a small fleet of other exploration ships together. Headed out into the black, and the idea was to head out into the last known area, scout the area and see what they can find, a wreckage, a ship, any clue to what happened and where the messages came from, because the messages talked of what could potentially be alien contact. Upon arrival at their destination with the fleet, one jump after leaving the gathering station, they discovered that no one was there. Shouldn't have been the first, but they were, and they waited for the Distant Sun, the Distant Night. She showed up, and it turns out that none of the other fleet were anywhere to be found. They set out to investigate, taking with them a scientist from the Distant Night, and made their way to a couple of nearby systems, had a look around, and found one crashed starship, the ACSS-3 Victorian, and eventually, after a bit of a run-in with some native wildlife, recovered both of the two crew members from that ship. And if I had my notes open like a smart boy, I would give you the name, but I don't have it. I know it was Lady Frau Kareen and...
Yeah, Kareen and
Kydrans. There we go. Kydrans. The sidekick.
Kydrans.
Yes.
Yeah, K.
I don't think I ever told you guys her second name.
No, you do.
I'll find
I
my
think you
notes in a
dropped
minute.
it once, but...
I'm not sure. But either way, that's where it is. You probably would know it. It didn't really come up. So,
don't really matters.
you recovered them. You recovered a wounded Johnny. Made your way onto the ship. And headed off towards the Distant Night. As you did so, you made it into orbit. You talked with your new find. The crew members decided that you didn't really like them, and then later came to like them a bit more. But what we will be skipping over there is a small incident with something coming from the rings of a gas giant in warp, from what you could see, towards you at speedy speeds, appearing next to you, some kind of organic-looking alien entity or vessel. It attacked you, shutting down your ship entirely and taking both of your warp rings before vanishing. You didn't really get a complete scan, but you did manage to pull off, get some video recordings and about a half a scan of it. You took this evidence, you headed back to the Distant Nights, limping along at 1/4 speed without your warp rings. Making it back there, the ship had been apparently taken over by pirates of some kind, who also have a name that I would give you had I been smart enough to open my notes before we started. As you can tell, I'm good at this. And...
Oh, such good skill. Much good.
Oh, yeah, brilliant. Ah, found my notes. What was his name? Yes, it was a Zaya Dilark, most notably, who was the one who answered your call, who identified himself as Sonis. And it's a bit weird. They shot at you after demanding your ship, and you said no, logically. So you made a hasty retreat, attempted to warp out, and were interdicted. But eventually, you outrun them, got outside of their interdiction field, or they shut it off. They jumped away into hyperspace, and you vanished into warp. You didn't take the closer trip back to the nearest station, but instead took a solid 13-day week all the way back to the second nearest station, just in case. Made your way back there, landed, and discovered that the Alliance has only just declared war on the Techni, a race of machine-like entities that have been plaguing some of the frontier worlds with relentless attacks recently, and all attempts at communication have failed.
Is this the paperclip people?
Yes.
Okay.
And you were approached by a Lieutenant Commander, Jonathan Bentley, who attempted to enlist you. He was very persistent in his attempts, but you basically told him to get lost. Ended up doing a bit of shopping, got your ship repaired, and made your way to the naval offices on board, where you handed in this data and eventually came to the agreement with them, with the Admiralty there, after they attempted to twist your arm into a contract that you might not ever be able to fulfill. You eventually... yes, they were basically told where to put it, and you eventually made an agreement to... they would
take their money and never deal with them again.
Yeah, basically, they would pay you 10k, and they would take your data. Somehow, they got onto your ship, even though basically every system was shut down, locked down. They wiped all the data. They touched nothing else, and you've no idea how they got on the ship. You then had to spend about, I think it was a week and 6 days or something like that, attempting to, which was just sort of waiting for the ship repairs to be completed. And that has just happened, as you guys are now ready to finally set out once more. Over the last week and 6 days, things have been slowly getting worse. It's quite clear that over the holonet and all across the station, really, that people don't appear to be signing up for the military, enlisting anywhere near as much as the Alliance was hoping for. In fact, it's beginning to look a lot more and more like they may begin conscription shortly.
I would then be very careful in just thinking that they're going to start at any second, just sort of avoid every single one that I could possibly see. Just going out my way to avoid them, sort of thing.
Yeah. It does appear that they haven't started it yet, but it won't be long. But your ship is back in working order. The crew has assembled on the bridge, and you are ready to go.
So, ladies, I don't recall us discussing what exactly we wanted to do. There was an idea. Well, there was an idea to go exploring again, see if we could find more of those lost crew.
Yeah, either go for the lost crew, but I think I've got a problem with that. Is by now those pirates have raided every single fucking one, and probably killed the majority of them.
And taken the black boxes.
Yeah, if that was them.
Presumably.
Yeah, or we could just go and do some other smaller errands first. To be honest, I just want to go see. Fuck it, let's go do a bit more exploring and see if we can rescue more rich people.
I doubt they'll all be as rich. Remember, we signed up for the money as well.
Yeah, maybe.
Let's face it, we've always been down for stupid plans. You want to head into the thick of it?
Of course we
head back into
fucking
the
are.
thick of
Let's
it.
go. It also means that we're off this station, so we're not getting fucking conscripted.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
By the way, before we leave, I look for the nearest non-alliance starship that we won't get conscripted in.
Non-naval starship is basically all around you. This is a station appears to be thriving off trade with nearby colonies, mostly. So
I'm meaning
all over the place.
Places that were very unlikely to get conscripted and all that.
Oh, Starport.
Yeah, Starport.
Most of them, there aren't any non-alliance starports other than the stuff that you won't find on maps, the stuff that's outside what you're looking for.
Am I able to sort of try and find some people who know?
Okay.
'Cause-
Okay, roll me. Let's bring up the character sheet so I can look up the stats. Just go ahead and roll a
Charisma?
social knowledge.
Oh, social knowledge.
Yes.
Okay, that's not terrible.
Yeah, I really need to start adding focus.
Oh,
4
jeez.
successes. Okay.
Oh,
That's
nice.
mad. Successes.
You think you've got a few. You think you know how to find a few people who'll be able to find that kind of stuff. You sort of
Yeah.
spot them in bars and that kind of things. You got a,
Yeah.
You get a read on some of them, and you think these people know.
Yeah.
You approach them. You make small talk, buy them drinks. You get to the point at which you start asking your questions, and you get a few hints that maybe actually out the way you were looking, there's a few things. A few of them
Yeah.
mention a few areas closer to the core worlds, although those are all obviously the less safe ones.
Yeah.
You get one or two locations and a few hazy ideas where others might be.
Yeah, I'll note them down so
Yeah.
I know in the future so we can,
Lay low if
Not-
you wish to, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I'll return to ship and just sort of go. I think there's a couple of places that we can lay low and not need to fucking deal with the sort of authorities here, 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 and here.
Sure
These
thing.
ones are a
Do
bit
you-
more. These ones might be a bit more safe. Let's, go.
Yeah, if we need. Do they
Yeah.
have dry docks?
Who knows? These
You want to
places.
go there first?
I don't know if we want to go there first, but we
Yeah.
certainly want. If things get bad over here, we run there.
Sure thing.
Like, we can take a longer. Like, worst comes to worst, we come to this station, realise that they're conscripting, avoid the conscriptors or whatever the fuck. We just say that we're on a mission or some bullshit. We make something up. We get on
Yeah.
a ship, get the essential supplies, and if we've got broken warp rings again, we take the long route there.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how
Sounds
fucking
like a plan.
like I don't want to be throwing away my life for this pointless fucking cause.
Oh, me neither.
But yeah,
I'll go ahead and open comms. ACS's adventure to starport.
This is a starport.
ACS's adventure requesting startup permission.
Mission granted. You have clearance to leave bay. And then you get basically a flight path just sent to you.
Sure thing. I'll copy back the information, and I'll begin startup procedures
Sure.
to head out as soon as possible and engage the warp drive when we're at the, beyond the minimum safe distance to do so.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So,
I'll also just monitor and make sure no one's being a fucking idiot nearby. Because
sure.
someone's going to be
No,
bleeding.
go ahead and just roll me a perception plus starships. Just a census roll.
20.
Yeah, it appears that there aren't actually really anyone misbehaving.
So
Everyone's
there's no elite players. Okay,
no, not quite.
we've all done that.
Honestly, it's just Gav.
What?
Wow.
Who accidentally presses boost as we go flying through the entrance.
No, I'm just abusing Gav over his flying skills because he's a pilot in real life. So,
Alright.
yeah, you begin moving out, and you head on out to the so you head on out to the minimum sort of safe distance, build up the warp drive, and head off.
I would imagine we're going back to. Do you want to jump out just outside of sort of where
the distant nights was supposed to be.
Yes.
Absolutely.
My thinking there is they're not going to think that we're going to be that stupid to return there.
I am totally down for that.
Okay.
And I'm also happy to. I would imagine that we pre-program it and all that to jump outside where they were, their sort of in field and all that.
Sure.
But yeah,
General area, not the exact location, please.
yeah.
Okay. So it took you about 13 days to get there. It'll take you a quarter of that to get back. So it will take
Sweet.
you a couple of
Well,
days.
That's 2 days. No, 3 days. 3 and a quarter to be exact.
And how many days of rations did we even have? Like loads?
A month, I
No,
think.
you got a month.
Yeah.
I think. So yeah, it'll take you about 3 and a quarter days to get back. So
Yeah.
go ahead and mark those rations off because there's really not a lot to do aboard ship.
Is a month still 30 days here?
No,
Or is that special as well?
it's 50. 50 or 51.
Of course it fucking is special.
First 7 months are 51 days.
You know who made the
Yes,
game?
we
Last
have
3 months are 50.
47,
Yeah.
so 47 days of rations left.
So I would imagine that time I've had 2 seconds. 6, 5, and 21.
Oh my god.
The first one I open up is carrots. I don't know why though, but they decided that they were going to make it fucking rotten carrots. I mean, who the fuck wants to eat rotten carrots?
I want it noted that
Second,
sometimes you amuse me, Lewis.
second one was guinea pig. Like, tastes like a bit like duck, so it wasn't bad, but it's got a horrible fucking aftertaste of coconut. Like, why? Surely they can invest something into that.
Because they've never quite got rid of that coconut taste because
Yeah.
it's what the energy comes from.
That being said, the next one though sounded really good, jam flavoured. Looking forward to that. Until I realised that they decided that it was fucking coconut jam.
Of course.
Like, coconut jam, yes, because that's what I wanted to fucking eat on that today.
This is Lewis and his lunch bars. Because
I
Lewis and
have
his
too
lunch
much time
bars.
on my hands.
Yeah, you really do. So,
Right then. Let's
Oh.
continue.
about mid-morning on the 4th day, you warp in. Your systems alert you. You're all sort of change your sleep schedule a little bit, just so that you are arriving at a time when you're all awake. You make your way. The systems alert you. They wait, make sure everyone's on the bridge, and then you warp out.
Yeah.
What you see around you is empty space, the stars.
I'll immediately
Oh.
start scanning.
Yeah, system
for,
scan.
I was going to say for other signals.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, signal scan is what I meant.
Yeah. I would imagine
I would like to do that as well.
I'll chuck one of the.
One person can make the
thingies up.
test because it's one ship making the test.
What's your perception, Lewis?
I get 10 plus 10. I've got a
It's
5.
perception
you
plus
do it.
starships. So yeah,
Yeah, you go ahead and do it then.
go for it, Lexie.
21. 20.
Wait.
20 anti-crit. No, that's an anti-crit, so it's 21.
Alright. It's 21 then.
You don't see anything on the sensors. You see faint traces here and there of places that are what's the word? Of places where ships have like jumped in or out, but you don't see any.
Can I scan a couple of those? wings?
Recently?
See
No,
what
not
they would be?
recently. You can't scan them without going over to them, but it does appear that like something has disturbed sort of the fabric. you're going to struggle to get a reading. It does appear to be quite old, and these things deteriorate logarithmically with time, so...
Would it be quite an old one, like from us jumping out, or would this be one more recent than like 2 weeks ago or whatnot? In fact, 3 weeks now.
16 days-ish. Oh yeah, more even. Twice.
No,
Yeah.
it'll be like
No,
27.
they do not last that long.
Yeah.
This is maybe a couple of hours old.
Couple of hours.
These things deteriorate fast. If you're not there, usually within an hour you won't get a reading on where they're going or anything about them other than there's a bit of a ripple.
If someone's been here in the last couple of hours, I would say let's fucking leave, because I do not want to stay here.
Before we do that, how quick do you think we can get the sensor buoy off? Get the
That-
read on the
No, I'm doing that, yeah. I'd kick one of the sensors out and all that and just set that up.
Okay.
That'll take half. I doubt anyone's going to come in and find us in half an hour's time.
Yeah, we have to pick it back up too.
Yeah, so,
Picking it
It's
up isn't that hard though.
yeah.
No.
Scanning it takes half an hour, picking it up and dropping it off takes about 10 minutes each, so 50 minutes will be fine.
Yeah.
So
We're in the middle of fucking nowhere. Doubt anyone's going to come, but even still.
Yeah, and still people jumped here, so there's definitely something up.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. But just to be safe, I would.
it's a
If that's
it is
the pirates.
it's a pretty tense half hour as you sit and wait, staring mostly at scanners and out the window, looking, kind of hoping you don't see anything, but keeping an eye out just in case.
Kind of hoping that I will, but just not nasty things. Sort of
After about
like nice. Yeah.
after about 10 minutes of waiting, so after you kick the boy out, you pick something up on your scanners. It appears to be an exit jump, from what you can tell. It appears as though something has suddenly started bending space-time in on itself and has just left. It was about 15 meters from you.
50 meters.
From what you can tell, yeah.
I start scanning it.
Yeah, I'll turn the ship around, get the scanners in there.
As you go to put the scanners in there, because you have to get the scanner inside the wake. Oh, and
Yeah.
it's the thing at the front. So you bring the ship around, you basically shove your nose right into it.
Yes, we shove our we stick into the small hole. Just
Not
slot
that.
it right in there.
As you begin attempting...
Tom, you knew that was coming when you said that.
I really should have done, yeah. As you begin attempting to scan it, go ahead and roll me a perception plus... actually, no, this wouldn't be perception. This is going to be...
Technology.
Yeah, tech plus computers. Plus starships, even.
My tech is 4 and yours? Oh, never mind.
I get plus 10 even
Should
still.
I roll a tech?
For
With
these
your
things...
negative
Minus-
4, sure.
-4.
For these things, one person is doing it, and
I know.
Yeah.
I
whoever's
would imagine I'll shove
whoever
them
is
all
on sensors does it, not...
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
you don't
just
decide on
joking.
your bonus, guys. Yeah, 20. It's really hard to get a read on these things. This appears to be flattening out slightly faster than normal, and because of that, you're getting a huge arc of possible directions going from anywhere from up here to down here. All of this area is
Yeah.
a possible direction. You just know it's not coming from behind, not going behind you.
Okay.
So that's basically deeper into the unknown.
I'll record everything and have another sort of bigger look at through the data and just take a bit more time while I'm waiting for the rest of the time, if that makes sense.
Okay. You continue to wait for a couple minutes. You sort of sit there, looking through your data.
Yeah.
You can't
Yeah,
make anything
I am.
more out of it.
I'll be on the lookout for any other ship that might come our way.
Can I sort of work out what size it was, considering it was 15 meters away from us and we didn't notice it?
Yeah, just go ahead and roll a That'd
be
just
logic.
say flat logic.
Flat logic. What my fuck is my logic? All right, that's fine. Oh shit. 13. I forgot to add my modifier.
Ah, okay.
Bad roll.
13. Yeah, you're not really sure. It's kind of hard to tell.
Can I shove that over to Johnny or Charlissandra? Just sort of go.
Yeah, sure.
I'll chuck it over and just go. What the fuck? Can you make any heads or tails of this? Like, I can't work out what size this was even. Like,
I honestly don't even know anything that could come within 50 meters of us without being spotted.
yeah. So,
This is weird shit going on here, and I don't like
Yeah.
it.
do you want to have a wee look? Because I want to know what the fuck just happened.
Sure thing.
Yeah.
What do you want logic, is it?
Yeah, flat.
Sure thing.
You're really not sure.
At least I would imagine I've shoved it over Charlissandra as well. Just
Yeah, do you want to?
come on.
Do you want to take a look at it, Charlissandra?
Sure. What do I need to roll?
Just flat logic.
Logic.
Still do better than us. Surely you can beat a 13.
Or an 8.
I don't know why I did that, but
What's your modifier? Do you have one?
0.
Yeah, Charlissandra, you can't really make heads or tails of it. This isn't your field of expertise.
I don't know.
It involves a lot more math and a lot less katanas.
Yeah.
Katanas, daggers, and cloaks. It's not really your field of expertise, this.
I'll
You
be
make out.
honest. You almost did as well as me, and I've got a plus fucking 5. So, you know.
Yeah, you're just not having a good day.
No, we're not. Oh, we had more double 1s than we had double 10s, which is also not good.
Yeah, it just means you're due for some. So,
Yeah.
you wait. It's
Yeah, just you waiting.
it's pretty eerie. I think there might be things out there you can't see. Keep an eye on all the sensors. You keep an eye on everything. Keep an eye on the boy.
Can I roll a perception?
Sure.
Oh,
Plus
yeah, I'll
starships.
roll them. I
Perception
rolled
plus
one?
starships.
What did I roll my first one for? Was that just... That was for the data. Yeah,
you rolled to scan the area.
Alright, I'll
That's a
have
shit
roll too.
roll.
Sure.
I
Yeah,
thought
you
that
can make
roll
one to keep
was-
an eye on everything during the time. Because this is
Yeah.
kind of an extended test, so you can all make one if you want.
26.
That'll do.
Jesus.
I can see things.
Hopefully. Or hopefully not, rather.
Yeah.
Lexie, after pouring over some of this data from the thing that just moved, you look up to quickly check the logs, and you notice something very strange. Is that the data you're receiving from the little sensor beacon you just dropped appears to be looping.
Okay.
It's got one of those sort of, what do you call it, a handshake things. You know what I mean? Just to make sure that it's there. And it just appears to be looping the data it's sending you.
Guys,
Yeah.
I'm grab the fucking sensor and let's run. It's looping. We're not getting you data.
Shit.
Something's wrong. Grab it. Pretend that we fucking finished our scans and let's fucking go.
Yep,
This
I'm
is
gonna
not a
grab
good
it.
idea.
So, as you turn the ship, so you go pull in the beacon,
Yep.
you don't see it.
Okay. Ah! That's what jumped out. Beacon ran away. It somehow jumped
How
out.
the fuck did the
I
beacon
don't
run
know.
away?
Let's go. Let's go. Fuck.
Yep, let's go.
I charged it up and
Okay, so
As he charges up, I would like to run a scan to find a direction from where this data is being sent to us.
yep. So we
it
it went that
alright.
direction. So let's go the other. It went sort of that direction. So let's go this direction.
Well, the what do you call it? The possible jump out went in one of these directions.
Yeah.
You don't know which way the data's coming from, so Gav, go ahead and roll me a Perception
Alright.
plus Starships. See if you can figure that
Yep.
out. I'm gonna just call these scan rolls from now on.
Alright.
No proficiency.
I'm gonna have a bunch of
Oh,
these laid
cock,
out.
15.
15. It's difficult to say, but you're pretty certain it's coming from straight behind you. Which is pretty much where the beacon should appear to be
That way.
after it drifted. Yes. That appears to be where the data's coming from.
Okay.
There must be a transmitter somewhere in the area, but I don't intend to find out.
Neither do I.
Did we get any bearing on SOS beacons?
Previously, you had detected one in this direction, one in this direction.
Here, shall we? That's near, in that sort of direction. It seems to be only 2 extra light years. And at least then it's not a fucking dodgy as fuck place.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
So,
So about
Plot and jump and go for it.
there?
where my thing is at the moment. That will do. That's in line with the other line, isn't it?
What line?
The line from over here.
It was this area and this area. You're not. They were pretty rough.
Alright.
And the beacon wasn't accurate enough.
Yeah, no. We'll jump there and we'll get another scan there. That should be
Yep.
good enough.
Okay.
Scan.
How long is this jump gonna take?
That was 9, so that will take you 4.5 hours.
As we are jumping, Lexie, I would like to take it upon ourselves to check those beacons. Make sure there's
Yep.
not a single transmitter on them.
Yup, I'll start helping as well.
Okay.
I've taken one apart at this point, so I'll take them
Yeah.
apart,
You have, yeah.
have a right the way look through them, and reassemble them.
Okay.
And I'll be there with you.
Go ahead
every step of the way,
and
'cause
roll
fuck
me
this.
a. Lexie, go ahead and roll me an engineering knowledge. Just you.
Does Johnny help as well,
No,
considering we're doing
Just
this
roll an
together?
engineering knowledge.
5 successes.
Okay. Go ahead and make a technology +5, both of you.
The technology +5.
Yeah. Basically, this is
Oh, no, that was
Wrong
the wrong
thing.
one, sorry.
this is kind of to see what you know about after.
Ooh, 22.
Oh, yes!
Oh my god!
31! Come on!
Nice, breach 30s. Okay. Yeah. Johnny is pretty good at this, but he is no help to you. As, I mean, well, he is. He checks like 2 beacons and you check the rest.
Like, I'm doing backflips with my screwdrivers, doing the backflips into the thing and all that, just...
Oh yeah, you are showing off at this point. As you go
I'm
through
like-
and, obviously there are transmitters on them to get the data.
Yeah.
Those are the only transmitters. These beacons appear to not have been tampered with. They appear exactly the same as the one you took apart originally.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got high enough to see that these are exactly the same as the one you took apart originally. There is nothing active on them when you ditch
I would
it.
imagine I'm also at the same time checking to see how the fuck that could have happened.
Yeah, you don't see any kind of FTL signature. You don't see anything that could indicate that.
Yeah.
They also don't appear to have any subspace communications, which would,
Yeah.
they don't appear to have FTL communications.
Yeah. I'll also check the programming at the same time as well. Just have a run through the programming to make sure it all seems reasonable, and that there's nothing suddenly.
Sure, yeah, you
they're
rolled high enough.
constantly being tracked.
You don't see anything that could have indicated what just happened, and you don't see anything out of the ordinary. It's exactly what you'd expect. An awful lot of stuff about sensors. Some of it you're
Yeah.
really unfamiliar with because your ship mostly uses active sensors.
Yeah.
These are passive. But you don't see anything along the lines of
It's transmitting its location or some bullshit.
Nothing like that, no. This appears to simply, basically, this is an ear with a little wireless sender to send it to you. That's all this is. This is a Bluetooth microphone, for all you can tell. But, you know, slightly really advanced. Because science and recording things from multiple light years.
Can I see any way to upgrade them, by the way, while I'm there?
Not without a lot
Or
of
like
time
build...
and a lot of R&D.
And a lot of materials we don't
Or-
have.
Yeah, or
it's just
build
gonna...
my own that would be better or something like that.
No, this is just... If you wanted to do that, it would just be an awful lot of research for you to do, because a lot of the stuff you don't really know about. It's not the stuff you
Fair
deal
enough.
with.
That sounds like bullshit.
Well, it's
Boring
kind of
fun.
like an optician trying to work out how to make an ear better. It's kind of
Fair
how
enough.
it's the same thing. It's a sensor, but it's really different in the way that it works.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I put them all. I
Yeah,
make sure that they're all back together.
So, you wanna ditch this one in the next, well, wherever we drop out next?
Do you want to tie a bit of? Could I tie a bit of rope to this one?
Or are you
Uh,
joking?
Yeah, you got some like cables.
Yeah. It
Sure.
means that if they fucking jump out this time, we're going with it, or some bullshit.
That's gonna be really interesting. I'd rather not see this ship torn in half.
Oh, this will be fun.
Both of you
What's
roll
the
me.
worst that could happen?
Both of you roll me engineering. No, scientific knowledges.
Oh,
At
This is
this
science
point,
physics.
the worst that could, at this point, the worst that could happen is the warp rings being destroyed again.
aye. Like, what's
3
the
and
worst that
3.
could happen?
Charlissandra, are you getting in on any of this?
No, not really.
Yeah, just leaving the notes to their thing.
Yeah,
Okay. So
my stats in this are so bad, so
yeah, sure.
I'm
Yeah,
just
it
leaving them.
makes sense that you're probably just
yeah.
playing Assassin's Creed 74.
Your scientific's better than mine.
Wait, is it?
Yeah?
Yeah, it's 9.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Like, your scientific.
someone has a
good,
This
But you-
assassin has a hobby.
but your technology is really shit.
Yeah, but my scientific is high.
Didn't get taught how to use data pads. You got taught
Yeah,
how to
she
use
already
physics
had
to
the
kill
books.
people. Go
Yeah.
ahead. If you want to roll, go ahead.
Okay, sure, why not? It'll be fun.
Sure,
I would
scientific
imagine
knowledge.
I will just go over.
So it was scientific knowledge?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, you guys. And your
We are the
threes.
master of threes.
Well, I mean, it makes it easier for me. So.
We are the knights who say three.
Oh my god. I'm both proud of you and disappointed at the same time. So, with a 3, and a 3, you guys all...
We're half the devil.
So, this is basically a physics roll. You all know that it really depends what would happen on what FTL system is used. Slip space is dodgy. If the portal closed, it would just cut any wire. But it wasn't slip space. You'd have noticed that, and also it wasn't. There wouldn't be a wrinkle. It appears to have been warp. Warp could act really, really weird because it could bend the cable, but it would also effectively stretch it along one axis. If you had a cable that passed through the edge of a warp, effectively a warp field, as one side of it just shifted off at light speed, the cable would be cut, but it would get to the point at which the space was then contracted, and then suddenly just extend in this really long, really, like, 1 atom thick.
So we would effectively have an infinitely long cable in a way.
It wouldn't be infinitely long, it would be 1 atom thick, it would be incredibly long, and then it would run out of atoms and just stop and break. And the moment
Wait,
you touch it, the thing would just shatter into pieces because it's only an atom thick.
Just checking. This is just with this knowledge. Would I know if you could effectively get a really thick fucking wire do the warp to another station and have a couple of atoms maybe at that stage?
It would be one. It's always
Just
one.
one.
It's always one
Okay.
because it's only one atom that's right on the border that gets messed with,
Okay.
effectively,
So-
and it just drags the rest of the cable behind it as it goes, and so you get this
Yeah.
sheen of one atom thick.
So
then the whole
get
thing just
one
instantly
atom
shatters.
between, and then you
Um,
could just pass electrons and all that through it.
Probably
if you
not,
keep water.
because obviously the thing about stations moving relative to each other, not conducted with one atom thick. Also, at one atom thick, it's so incredibly easy to break that breathing on it would just shatter it.
Fair enough.
It'll just break just instantly. Like the moment that your ship moves at all, it'll just break it.
Okay, so we would be dragged in with us or something.
You would be somewhat dragged behind it a bunch. You'd feel it, definitely. And then there'd be this sort of cloud of just... it would be a real faint cloud of probably steel particles.
Yeah.
And a wire that kind of has a weird... imagine a tube of clay and then someone's taken a thumb and just gone across the top. It's kind of what it would look like at the end.
Alright. So it wouldn't damage the ship, so to speak. It would just make it really uncomfortable for us.
It would absolutely destroy the ship
Alright.
if you got pulled into the field. But if your wire's long enough, you won't, because the field moves pretty damn quick.
Would I know how long I should make it?
Um,
We're not doing it.
15,
Oh
20,
yes, we are.
15
Oh,
or
yeah,
20
we're
meters
not.
would probably do it. Doesn't need to be too
Okay.
long.
I would make it. I'm going to say, can we make it 25 meters? Effectively use cat, let's say 10 at that point, and just have data line between us. And just
Yeah.
check it out. We've got data streaming live as a wired. We're getting all quickly, and we'll just have a wee look at it. And if it fucking disappears, we can get the data as it sort of does, sort of thing.
You can absolutely do that. But you will have to clear it with your captain first, who appears
Can
to have
we
an
please?
issue.
We'll get it further enough away that we won't be a fucking issue.
You want to tether my ship to a beacon that might be warped out of existence.
It'll just be a bit bumpy if it does happen. And we might actually learn what's happening then.
Yeah, I don't fancy the ship being stretched out. We don't know how far these things are going. I'd
Yes,
rather...
but the cable needs to be about 15 to 20 meters for us to be safe, so I'm saying make it 25. I've got enough fucking spare cable to do that. And it means it's further enough away from us that if this shit happens, we're safe. We're just gonna have a little bit of a bumpy ride. And we learn some new stuff. And we might be able to make, if it does happen, some scientists might be interested in this data because it could be really fun.
Yeah, that would be interesting data.
Yeah. I start wiring stuff.
You disable the transmitters, make those go straight over the cable.
Yeah.
Actually, no, that wouldn't really work, would it?
No, it would.
Can
Because
I?
the cable's gonna get fucked, the beacon might get fucked.
But if the beacon breaks, you're not receiving anything from the transmitter, because the beacon's been yoinked at light speed, and this is a sublight transmitter.
True.
Like, it'll
Am I-
redshift out of existence.
Am I able to sort of disable the wireless shite on it and just put
Yeah,
wired?
you rolled so well before that, it's absolutely no problem to do that, really.
Like I won't have it. I'll pretty much solder a switch or something in there to disable
Yeah, sure.
the Bluetooth or whatever the fuck it uses.
The switch
So
and the
it still
kettle,
has it.
sure.
It just doesn't use it at the moment.
Yeah, that's really not too difficult to do. You just reroute a couple of things,
Yeah, just
and put a switch in it.
effectively
Yeah, you can do that fine. That's really
Yeah.
easy.
Okay, I have now in my inventory 3 beacons and 1 wired beacon. Because we are absolutely stupid.
We've got 6 beacons, don't we?
Oh no, we
Um,
ditched a couple of those. And
we've
one of those
ditched 2 of
beacons
them.
is yeah, we lost one, and one of them is a transmitter beacon.
Which you didn't have picked up again.
I thought. Oh no, we didn't because the alien shite and all that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
You guys are like, nope,
yeah,
we're
we
out of
kind
here.
of got fucked.
So,
Yeah.
That's still out there.
It's
Yeah.
out there somewhere if you want to pick it up. Absolutely.
Do you want to? I don't.
Nah, we might as well go to a different system. They've got
Over
the
here,
logs
last
that
you
our
checked.
ship was someplace else.
Yeah.
Yeah, but see, from that system we're not gonna get any data anymore. Next jump we make, we need to make it to a star so we can get some paid data.
Are we at a star at the moment, or?
I don't have every star map listed on this map, so let's go ahead and... Yes, you happen to be pretty damn close to a star.
Scanning that shit.
Okay. So, that will be... a cartographic scan is an active scan, which would give your position away to anyone around here. Even more so than jumping into a system at faster than light speed does.
Okay, first I'll have a listen in
Let's.
for
Yeah.
anything that's around us.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll order Lexie to do that.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay, so
Um,
you're gonna just use the beacon then.
24. For that, I will use the
Passive
ship
scanners.
passive ships,
okay.
passive scanners or whatnot, just to see who's here.
Okay. Yeah. It's
24.
pretty obvious, having not moved. It's really obvious to anyone in the system where you are, because
I imagine we've moved a little bit while we're doing this, but not massively yet.
you've moved at sublight, and once you're moving at FTL speeds, you jump in. The warp drive actually projects a shield in front of your craft to catch it, as there's
Yeah.
this massive burst of radiation. It doesn't
Aye.
catch all of it. It's called the drop shield, and basically, there's just this huge light speed sort of bubble expanding around you. But you can use scanners that work at short range of FTL, so you will be able to pick
Yeah.
up a few things. Okay, 24 on passive scanners. So, you do obviously pick up the expanding bubble of, what's more of a cone really, of sort of you being visible. You
Yeah.
don't really pick up anything else. You see 2 planets in the system. One appears to be a gas giant, and the other one you're not really quite sure about. It appears to be the size of a small rocky planet,
Small rocky.
but the readings you're getting are synonymous with maybe even a gas giant's ring system. You can't
How far
really
away
tell.
from the gas giant is it?
Currently, it's about a quarter of the way around the star system. They're in a different orbit. The gas giant's effectively a hot Jupiter. It's really close in, and this one's
Yeah.
quite far out. Kind of just the outer limit of the Goldilocks zone, roughly, if you would had to place it.
Okay, so
Just
There's
a
a sort
little
of-
bit beyond.
yeah.
Water's probably frozen almost all the time here.
yeah, right. That will be interesting. Have a wee look at, I think. But
Ah, we
I'll-
can fly there.
yeah, at this point, I'll chuck the scanner out and have a wee look.
Okay.
The wired one. Make sure it goes a full 25 meters, 30 meters away, or something like that.
So you ditch that out the airlock. You wait. You wait a bit more.
Yeah.
You keep waiting. You get your results in.
Yeah.
You get back that direction. It appears to be an anomaly. This direction appears to be some kind of anomaly.
What kind of anomaly?
They're just signals that you can't really place. They're kind of real far away, and you're attempting to get it. You can't really work it out. And obviously,
Can I
there's,
use a
there's one
technology
down here.
roll or something like that to work out what the fuck they are? I'm guessing they're the distress beacons.
No, then we'd be able to place them, wouldn't we?
No.
No.
You'll be able to
Okay.
place them when you're in system, but basically you're getting, there's like photons that don't make sense from this star coming from here. Is kind of what
'Cause-
you're saying. It's FTL stuff, so it's not quite the same, but it is. You're getting weird readings from that area. The neutron storm
Yeah.
appears to have died down,
Because
but you're not.
Tom,
You're not getting any kind of like enough data, like whatever it is. It's just because of the distance and all of the stuff that's in between, because space isn't empty. It appears to have just
Yeah.
sort of distorted it too much. You can't really work it out. Past about 2 light years with your sensors, you'll get an absolute fixed reading.
yeah.
Um,
Is this one here that I'm pointing at the moment, is that in
That-
the same
that-
direction where that goes straight through their ship? that makes sense.
It is not that accurate, but it is that star system. And it is the same signal you've picked up before. You've got it on record. It just, oh, this is a distress signal. Like, that one auto-finds because you have it before. You have it on record.
And
but
the
I'm
others
just marking
two
it off.
look similar-ish.
It's really hard to say. One of them, the bottom one, looks not similar, but like it's made of the same stuff, if that makes sense. The top one is like it's a completely different end of the spectrum.
Alright.
It does not appear to be the same.
Can I shove these through a filter or whatnot?
Okay.
And just see what I can see?
Go ahead and roll a technology flat. This will be a really, really tough roll.
18?
18. Nah. You can't really place them.
Alright. Can I triangulate them with the previous data we had as well?
Yes, because that was from down here, so
Yeah.
let me go ahead and... Oh, but that was, like, pretty rough, wasn't it?
It was pretty rough, but it wasn't
it's-
incredibly rough, far as I remember. We had
here.
a...
You get that
think
it
we
would be
had-
in this sort of area, and this sort of area.
Yeah,
So
I don't think we can see that because everything's darkened.
Right, okay, so it's sort of centered on this point and this point. You get a sort of
Yes.
rough area, but you can't pin it down enough. There's
Is it-
like
Okay.
3 or 4 light years across that it could be.
Yeah, we're not jumping there then.
I would say go to one of them. Try and
Well,
guess.
we can go to the rough area, just to make sure it's a star.
Yeah. Make it sure it's a star, and go to a rough area, one that we sort of guess, but after we scan this entire system.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I want pay data. And
Yeah.
I'm gonna fire up the cartographic scanners.
I pull in the scanner sensor first using the cable.
Yeah,
Just sort of,
okay, so you just wrench it back in.
yeah, because we've got a little a way to actually put it back in now, sort of thing.
Yeah, it's real easy. As you pull it back in, you do notice that one of the like arrays appears to be slightly damaged. It doesn't appear to be massive damage, and there's just as you look at it, it's got this kind of rock dust on it. It looks like it's been hit with a micrometeorite of some kind.
Alright.
Because these have no kind of shielding. They'll take a pounding if you leave them out for too long.
Can I sort of work out how to fix it?
It
Just,
doesn't appear to have
you know.
like damaged it much. It's more cosmetic damage than anything else. It's just like one of the antennas slightly bent. You just and bend it back into place. You're fine.
Alright. I get a
The-
little bit of Clausen IPA and just sort of give it a nice rub down, because
Yeah, sure.
IPA cleans everything.
Sure.
IPA is fucking amazing. Just do this IPA and then shove it back in the
Yeah,
store.
sure. You stick it in the storage cabinet.
I mean, we have a spare set of these sensors, literally. So
But I'm actually going to say this. I would much rather use this wired one because it doesn't somewhat broadcast where we are.
well, oh yeah, because it's a passive thing.
Yeah, it's passive and it doesn't have the Bluetooth sort of connection.
Yeah. Now these, however, these definitely broadcast where we are, and I fire up the ACS scanners.
So it'll take you a couple of hours to do this. As you start getting data kind of just scrolling across your screen, you get
Yeah.
far more information than you've ever cared about for the composition of what appears to be an aging blue star. That's kind of really boring. Seen all
Yeah,
this
we
before.
just sat there. Someone's gonna pay money for this.
I
It's
go and eat
nothing new.
lunch or something like that at that point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's getting to about effectively 11 o'clock, so on your current day schedule. So yeah, go and have lunch, and John, you guide the ship to check out the gas giant. It's closer.
Yeah.
It's a pretty basic gas giant. It's got some
Yeah.
helium. It's got some hydrogen. Got a bit of lithium in its atmosphere. That's nice.
Joy.
You cannot. It's got some neat rings. They look pretty. And you head over to the second planet.
Yeah, the
Go
weird
ahead
one.
and roll me perception plus starships. As scan roll.
Perception plus
Do you want me
starships.
to help there, or I would imagine we're both doing it. or something.
You're running sensors, Archie. Yeah, so you do it.
Yeah.
18.
18.
By the way, for my lunch, I had a roast. Not sure what roast it was, but it was a roast of. It was a meat of some sort.
It depresses me that you have a list.
What's the
Of
lunch
course I
bar?
fucking do. I've still got another 48 to do here, Tom. But anyway, 18.
18. So, as you approach, it appears as though the planet is... it does appear to be a small rocky planet, although it appears mostly ice, a small sort of ice world with a small core, lots of water that appears to have frozen. It looks really strange, but as you get closer to it, you note that there are craters across the surface that are far larger and far deeper, and they don't look like impact craters. They're conical in shape. Just cones. There's no, like on the moon, where there's a crater and then you see the streaks of ejected material. There's none of that.
Yeah.
It's just conical holes all the way into this planet. And they must go about halfway to its core. It's a pretty small planet, but these holes are maybe 50, 60 miles across, from what you can tell.
Okay.
And it's dotted with them all over the place. Which...
Would I know why or what's happened there?
You've never seen anything like this. But it appears to be these conical holes that were giving you the weird, sort of semi-transparent reading that you were getting before.
I'm going
it's just
to
not as
make
dense
sure
as
we
it
have...
should be.
I'm sure we're having pictures of this shit. Visual pictures.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I'll help you get some of them and all that. And
Yeah. And I would like to bring up any visual data we have on Mr. Alien over there and compare these cones with the spines sticking out the back of that sucker.
Well, for one, those were, from what you could tell, maybe a couple of meters in length. The holes,
Okay.
the holes here go halfway to a planet's core. Or, I mean, you don't have the data to compare.
Okay. How big was the alien?
just
from
from memory.
yeah,
these
from
are
memory,
too
it
big.
looks about the size of your ship. Is about the size of your ship, maybe slightly smaller. Is sort of what you've got, but no
These
actual
are
sizes.
fucking massive in comparison.
Yeah, these
Yeah.
are. These are big.
Am I able to roll scientific or something to try and work out if I've heard of any of these sort of things before, or
Yeah, go for it.
It doesn't look natural. How
Yeah.
smooth are these cones?
one?
You have never heard of anything like this.
Yeah, I was thinking that. I was
Um,
guessing I was needing 5 or something there.
How smooth are they? They appear pretty smooth. They're not perfectly smooth. They're not,
No.
but they are. I mean, they're pretty smooth. In the same way that a crater impact is smooth.
Okay.
Hemisphere collapsed. It's that kind of same smoothness, but it's. I mean, it is made of rock and ice,
Yeah.
lots of ice, so pretty smooth, but not massive.
Does this look like someone's mined the hole, or does this look like it got exploded?
You don't see any marks of an explosion on the outside. Beyond that is
Right.
entirely up to you.
Look,
Okay.
guys, as interesting as this is not our job to figure out. So how about we go to the next system?
Oh,
For all we
definitely
know,
not our idea,
Bad
but
thing's bad news.
I was just having a wee look while we had some, spare time
Yeah,
to the scan off. But yeah,
I'll plot a course to the next star.
Which
Uh,
one's
And
that?
why don't you go ahead and check the passive scanners for any ships that might be nearby?
yeah, I'll check the passive scanners and all of
Sure.
that and see that. And for the ship that we're going, place that we're going to, 28.
No, you
I
don't see
fucking
anything.
see everything.
How about I
Let's
jump
go
right
to
in the
middle
middle
of
of the... Yeah,
Yeah.
through the middle so we can get a good read.
Yeah, like we've
So-
got 3. We go into the middle.
Thereabouts?
Oh, from here. Okay, I was going to say, it appears to originate here, and here appear to be the centres.
Yeah, so how about I just go
No,
thereabouts. That should give us a good read.
Sure.
no, I was thinking going hereabouts in like the middle one of those three. So we know either one or the other direction, and we'll get the third one as well for down there. And we can effectively scan that system, and we might get to one straight away with one less jump.
Go ahead and.
Or
ping
we
the
have
place.
plenty of time anyway, and we get more systems to scan.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah.
We scan the same
And
systems
we're
anyway.
also gonna if there's a signal there and a signal there, yeah.
If we scan,
If we're gonna go down the middle, we're gonna get some more accurate bearings towards them.
if we scan here though, we get very accurate data for that one, and good enough data for over here to work out where that one is. And also, if we go over there, we might get straight away there, or we get close enough. We get another scan of the system, and we just save a bit of fuel.
I don't think fuel is a problem here, is it? No, it's sublights. Fuel is not a problem for this.
Is it? Yeah, this is a mass.
Yeah, jumping doesn't require much fuel because the fuel repairs your reactor. It does require some.
Yeah.
If you intend
How
to move
much?
around too much, you'll run out of fuel. You do use quite a bit of fuel. As just scanning these systems, it does
Yeah.
end up draining through quite a bit of fuel because you have to move between every object in the system and get up to it, basically. And
What
sit there
percentage
and...
are we on? Firstly, what was the percentage to
Yeah.
get to here?
How many systems can we realistically still do like this, effectively?
I'd say maybe another 4 systems you could totally scan.
And get another 4 systems and get to one of the sort of dodgier sort of non-alliance places that we heard of.
Yeah. Or
So
to the
let's-
one that you originally set out from with the distant
Yeah.
night.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you
I
can get
was-
4 systems in that fuel, and then you'll be out. But you
I
will be
was-
running on maybe 0.1% by the time you get there, if you do that.
Yeah. I would say
So
do-
it depends on the system size as well.
we want to do 3, okay? Just
Yeah.
to be safe. So,
So,
if
like,
we go to one of the pirate
1,
places and it's bullshit,
2...
or
Yeah,
I would say 1, hopefully
can
1,
it be a wasted jump?
maybe we could get lucky and be the exact right one, and we've
Okay, or we
effectively
could get
got these
unlucky.
2 and 2.
Or we could get unlucky and not get a proper bearing on it, because we're still on the same line.
No, we have 3. It points either to one of the systems or it points to the other system. We go in the middle of the 2, so it has to point to one or the other. And then we get the one down here as well.
But there's only 2 signals.
Yeah.
I'm not...
But the signals can be in 3 systems we get out. So if we go in the middle of the
okay.
we get
Yeah, sure
one
thing
or the
then.
other. Like, we get one or the other, and we also get definitely where the other one is no matter what. So we
Sure
get
thing.
3 jumps maximum, 2 jumps minimum.
Let's go.
This signal could be in any of these systems here, basically.
Yeah.
Any of these
So-
tiles, not all of these are systems.
We go to the star.
Well,
And this
Yeah.
one's any of these.
how many stars are in those tiles then?
Yeah. Go to the star, because the last one was in a star.
There
Yeah.
are no stars in those tiles.
Okay, go to the middle then.
Okay, how many stars are in the tiles over here?
Yeah.
4.
Fucking
One
hell.
here, one here, one here, one here.
Oh,
They're
it's
in-
the 4 for that one.
Yeah, it appears to be a very small cluster.
Let's go in the middle one. Middle system, shall we go?
Look, cluster any stars close enough together to effectively be a system with 2 stars? Or not that close?
These are light years apart, these are not binaries.
Okay.
Let's go in the center one of those 4,
Yep,
and we'll go there.
effectively.
So this is the one that's most similar to the... It appears to be made of the same stuff as the distress beacon. Whether it's a distress beacon or some other beacon, it appears to be an alliance signal from what you can tell.
Yeah.
Or a ship signal, as you're familiar with. The one up north, that's an anomalous reading you have no idea about. So you're going for the southern one. Here?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was the slightly less dodgy one as well. Let's go to the slightly less dodgy one first. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Watch us get dodged.
As you...
Oh! Oh, for fuck's sake.
We missed it by 1.
Yep.
I'm guessing we worked that out pretty quickly about this, where the signal was coming from.
Yeah, pretty much. As you... As you jump in, you do a few quick scans. And
Yeah.
you're like, oh... Yeah, it's one system over.
I would imagine that I would have prepped to jump out to somewhere, just a evacuation one in case something goes fucking wrong.
Sure.
Even still coming into any of these, just imagine that I'm doing that somewhere.
So-
We have
so
an
you pla-
escape route.
You plan
Yeah.
to immediately jump out directly before you see anything.
Yeah,
Look around.
or
It's silent. The passive
Yeah,
scans
if-
show nothing that you can see.
do you want to roll for them, or
The passive scans on your ship, you don't really see anything other. You will see that this is appears to be a very big blue hot star, so a new star.
Yeah.
And this appears to have 9 planets, which will
Oh,
consume
okay.
a little bit more fuel than you would expect to scan the system.
would that take us down to 3.5, or would that bring us down to 3?
It's kind of like
Or
3.5, yeah.
3.5. All right, that's not as bad. I'll chuck out the wired one then.
Okay.
'Cause-
Yep,
Yeah.
passive scans first, and then once we're in the clear,
Yeah.
all scanners go.
I'm going to continue keeping on using this wired one because I prefer the idea of using wired,
Sure.
both in real life and in this game.
So you chuck it out, you wait for a little bit, and half an hour, you pull it back in. Okay, you do get another bearing.
On the one up there as well.
There you go,
So do we
Cool.
can we triangulate where it is coming from then?
right here. Yes.
Right there.
Triangulate
So we
that.
know the system. That's
Um,
good.
Well,
Yeah.
or rather the coordinates, because there's no bloody star there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'll delete this line. You don't get any new signals pop up in
Any
this section.
new signal.
Well, you don't
Oh,
get any other.
Yeah.
You just pick that one signal up. You don't pick anything else up.
I assume we also pick up the one that's right next to us.
Yeah,
through
obviously
that.
that one.
Yeah. I'll have a wee look through that data and see if I can see anything interesting as well.
In the one from nearby.
For both, while the entire system's being scanned.
Okay, so Gav, you scanning the system?
Yep, sure thing.
Sure. So you boot up, you start scanning the system. The one up top, you basically getting even worse data than you were before because you're further away. It's even more degraded. You can't make anything out other than it exists. Is basically all you're getting. The one you're right next to, however, you're within 2 light years of, so you do get basically a full read on it. For what you can tell, it appears to be full of multiple signals. It appears to be just radio chatter.
So
Yeah,
it's not a distress beacon.
it doesn't appear to be a distress beacon. You kind of tried listening into it. It's pretty heavily distorted and hard to understand most of it.
Yeah.
But you do pick up little snippets here and there. Docking permission. There's like a little tense bit goes on where you hear some people screaming at each other. You think you almost hear the sound of a gunshot in the background. And then more talk about docking. Something about goods, services.
Does it look like distant nights, or does this
No.
look like? Does it look like it's a big ship that they're docking into? Like, what's the thing that they're
From what you
docking
can
into?
tell, there are a number of ships that are docking. It sounds like some kind of station to you.
Does it sound
Well,
like a sort of
guys.
piracy station?
It
Yeah.
sure isn't going to be legitimate out here because this is Uncharted. This is
Yeah,
the kind of place you'll find that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Does it look like it's like the Distant Knights, or does it just look like it's pirates sort of station?
No, it's more an illegitimate station than a. The ship. Some of the ships you do recognise. Some of the ship classes that get mentioned every
Yeah.
now and then. It's far too big to dock at the Distant Knights.
Alright,
Stuff
so
be-
some of these are...
Well, it's just basically just stuff that's bigger than your ship. Anything bigger than your ship really is going to struggle with the Distant Knights.
Yeah.
Yours is really the absolute capacity.
Yeah.
Do the ships that I keep on hearing sound like smuggling ships, or do they sound like...
You hear hammerheads, you Mark 1 and 2.
Yeah.
You will hear of... Ooh, that's a good point. Hang on. You'd hear of an outlaw class, which is a light cruiser type. That's a military ship. You would hear talk of... No, you wouldn't. That's... CO4, light freighter. And
Yeah.
the... I don't remember its exact definition. I want to say 58 destroyer. The CE destroyer. That one. I could get its exact designation up, but I don't think it really matters.
Do these sound like combat ships rather than...
Combat ships, but hammerheads are trade ships. Like
Hammerheads or trade ships?
hammerheads are trade ships. CEO4 is a light freighter, which is a real. It's a real multi-role ship. It can serve the kind of stuff you're doing. It's the same ship that Lady Frau Corrine was flying, the one that crashed.
Alright.
That class of ship, and yeah, obviously the Outlaw is a light cruiser, and you heard mention of a destroyer. You hear the same
Okay.
name repeated for those ships, though. It appears they're keeping a presence there more than anything.
What do you mean?
You listen in. This appears to be sublight communication that's reaching you. You're not listening to current events. You're listening to stuff that's a year old.
Yeah.
And the two ships that are, the two, like the destroyer and the light cruiser, you hear them mentioned a couple of times, and using
Yeah.
the current data and what it actually is, you go through some of the logs you got from a couple of years ago, effectively, and
Yeah.
you can clean that up, and you get that they were mentioned there as well, from about
Okay.
7 years ago. So those two ships.
Or like the
They're-
sort of bouncers sort of
Yeah,
thing.
that's what you get. They're kind of sticking around, whereas the other ships, you hear lots of different names being mentioned.
And it's been there for 7 years, so I doubt it's not moved from now. Yeah,
It
they're
was,
Well,
just...
yeah.
I'm willing to go and give it a check. Sounds
I'm
exciting.
not sure.
Well, it sounds dodgy as fuck as well, but we might be able to
Yeah.
get some fuel there and stick
Well-
around for longer.
But it sort of sounds to me like these might be the guys that stole the Distant Knights.
Well, then that's in military information. If we jump out far enough and have another listen in,
Yeah. Yeah. Let's finish here, and I'll up here, and then we'll decide.
sure thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yargon, realistically, from any of the mentioned ships, and especially those two bouncers,
Mhm.
if we jump in at a distance theoretically far enough away from them, would we be able to get decent reads on the current goings on there?
Yes, but they will notice you the moment you jump into the system.
Oh yeah,
That's-
but they can notice us, but we just want to be out of interdiction range effectively, so that we can jump out again.
Yeah.
Far enough away. Let's say that we're that far away that it would realistically take them twice as long as it would take us to charge the reactor and get the fuck out again.
Yeah.
I doubt they've got an interdictor, but if they're trying to do trading, I doubt that sort of thing would have an interdictor, but just in case, yes.
That absolutely depends on the interdictor class, but you can take a hazard a guess and go probably. You might be able to get a read on current events. The problem would be that if you can charge your drive, so can they, and then it becomes who's got the higher class drive. And if they are bouncers to a pirate station, it's up to you.
Probably got higher.
They might have higher, they might have lower, because they're not working on any
They're
kind of
not
money.
going anywhere, I suppose.
But they are an important role for those people with no money, so it's a gamble as far as you're concerned.
But that also being said, they're not going anywhere.
From what you know.
Yeah.
Also, yeah,
They've stayed there for the last in this different 6 years. I doubt in this uncharted place that they're going to be there again. They're not going to be there. Although I've got a
Also-
feeling they might be a bit annoyed if we start charting this the place.
well,
Go ahead
we're
and
only
roll me
gonna start
a-
charging this thing if they appear to be hostile.
Yeah.
Lewis, just go ahead and roll me a history knowledge.
God. Do I have to?
Yeah, just you, because you have connections to these kind of people.
Oh
Oh my god!
-6.
Okay,
Hooray.
never mind.
Yeah, like
The thing is,
You have
if
a
it's
chance now.
pirates, there's not too much to worry. Well, pirates, illicit people, there's not too much to worry about. If it's the
Yes.
same guys who took the distant night, yeah, we need to get the fuck out. I don't care if we annoy them.
yeah. But the other one is, if these are guys that are staying there doing illicit dealings, they don't want to be in a sort of somewhere that it becomes charted. They suddenly have a bit of an issue because people know about that place now. People can sort of go, "Oh, that looks interesting. Let's go there," and then jump in, and their entire business is ruined, and they don't want to move on.
True. You
Because-
know what? We have the data on the comms chatter.
Yeah.
From that logic, yeah, that sounds enough. Let's
Like-
bounce out.
Yeah,
It's
let's
not
go.
people that need saving.
It's not people that need saving, but at the same time, there could be some stuff that we want.
There could also be some stuff we really don't want to deal with.
Yeah. So let's go
worth
to the other
losing
one
the
at
ship.
the moment.
Exactly.
Let's scan.
We can come back there if we really need to.
Yeah. I'll bookmark that location saying fun place. Just
Okay.
I won't say it's pirate locations or anything like that in case whoever fucking sort of looks at it and goes, "Oh, there's pirates there. Let's go fucking kill them." Because quite simply, it's quite handy to know where to find people like that.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like
Um,
same reason why you never want to annoy the Thieves Guild, because you never know when you want them. Finish the scan here, and I think we'll just jump to the next one.
Yeah.
okay, you guys should
Jump
be
to
able
the
to see that
anomaly.
now.
See what now?
It says fun place on it.
Alright.
Oh yeah.
And hopefully you should still be able to see it after you jump out, because you bookmarked it.
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you are jumping out to the other anomaly, yeah?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
The
that,
dodgy
After
one.
we finish this entire place and all of
Yeah.
that, sensor back in, doing anything else that we need to do,
yeah,
so we don't
okay.
lose anything.
The basic system scans, there's no real rolls required, it's what
Yeah.
you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The next journey will take you 3.5 hours more.
Yeah.
Should I take off another set of rations? At this point?
Take rations off for me because I've had my lunch and all of that.
Yeah, you guys are
I
going to
mean,
need to take your lunch,
Th-
so
so
you will.
much time has passed.
Yeah,
Yes.
take one off for everyone because we've only had one day sort of here.
I just put it in days, so it is for everyone effectively.
Yeah.
So we have
What did I want to do on coming here? I want Tom, we can't see fun place. There we go. Thank you. Now we can see too much around fun place.
Yeah, that's really annoying, but I don't know why.
We can see out to here.
Yeah, I'm not sure why you can see so much around it, so I'm just gonna...
Can you just?
okay, whatever. You know where it is. You can ask me if you need. Just
Yeah.
keep in your notes. So, is
I
there
would
anything you guys
imagine.
are doing over the 3.5 hours?
I would predict a plotted route to where we would go to one of the pirate locations.
Well, there's the one that you
Um,
just found.
well,
No,
Um,
one of the other ones.
Okay, they're kind of shady throughout the area. You've got rough ideas.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
sort of in one of the rough ideas, sort of.
All right, yeah. Absolutely. Let's see. You would have It's sort of, you get that it's somewhere between here and here.
Oh, it's sort of, we've got locations in this station system.
This sector,
Alright.
yeah, but it's this kind of...
Alright, just
It would be
check.
the closest.
Was that one there one of the ones that's sort of where I got this vague location? Was that one of them?
No. You didn't hear that
No.
one.
Didn't.
No.
Oh, that one sounds more
'Cause
fun now.
Because you were looking for places to lay yo, you didn't find that one.
Oh, because I was looking for a place. Right. I don't think that one. That's the busy one sort of thing. Then.
That's... You know what? Draw your own conclusions.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'll sort of. Yeah.
so... The 3.5 hours go by. Charlissandra is really beginning to get bored with all this space travel. You guys are paying,
Yeah.
so... Like, okay...
I'm
I'll
gonna
go
take a
to
nap somewhere in
Charlissandra
between.
I'll probably have a bit of practice sparring and all that with her. Just.
Okay.
Nothing too major, nothing that sort of damage or stun or anything like that, but just have a bit
Nothing
of fun.
that damages the bulkheads, please.
Sure.
No promises of that. I can fix them.
So... 3.5 hours pass by. You drop out in empty space. You are a sort of significant distance from this signal source. There's empty space all around you.
Yeah.
This better not be a waste of money.
Check the passive
Ouch.
scanners.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Friends.
Can we see the signal still?
Yeah. Still appears to be originating from someplace a little ways off in front of you.
Right.
We don't see anything on your scanners though.
Odd. You want me to fire up the active?
Let's fly towards that direction, in the general
You know
direction
what?
of it first.
This is effectively... We can make 2 more jumps, yeah?
It's
two more
not.
jumps.
Start...
It's not 2 more jumps. It's
It's-
2 more sort of systems scanned. It's it's mostly due to the number of planets in the system.
Okay.
Assuming
we-
each system has about 4 to 5 planets.
So it's probably about 5 jumps to every system scanned roughly or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. You're kind of expecting that much. Obviously, the other one had like 9, but the one before it had 2, so it kind of evens out a bit. So just a little bit more.
Yeah. Well, let's fly in that general direction first.
Yeah, you plot a route to the nearest star in the meantime, or the nearest place where you can
Yeah.
get a decent bearing from
I'll plot a route
to
to
the
this
fun
one here.
place.
No, to
Okay.
the one next to the fun place. I was thinking,
Sure.
just because fun place might be dodgy, the other one might not be, and at least that way we can also get a bit of data as well. We can't get data at the fun place.
So
No.
you approach the signal source, and as you do, it grows from a pinprick in front of you to kind of taking up an area screen the size of a basketball. And
Yeah.
it keeps going.
That's no moon.
Yeah, that's kind of the feeling you get as you realise this signal source starts coming from almost everywhere in front of you.
Oh shit! Is it actually starting to be? Oh shit!
It's now taking up almost half of your vision as you bring the ship to a stop, look around, and you see nothing in front of you, but from what your scanners are telling you about this signal, you must be like a few meters from it.
A few meters.
You must be right in front of the source of this, and it is huge. You can't see anything.
I'll just press the macro to start spamming print screen sort of thing.
Yeah, you start recording all your data to like
Yeah,
a number
just-
of additional hard drives just in case. And, yeah.
Yeah, just sort of start scanning this because this is weird. What the
Um,
fuck is this?
Are you going
I'm
to
gonna
active scan it?
Yeah, before I do that, I'm just gonna go to the intercom and be like, Charlissandra, would you mind manning the gun?
I think we've lost Charlissandra.
Yeah.
It's fine because we're coming right up.
Sorry, I have
Oh.
my mic muted.
Oh well
Yeah,
done.
I'll make my way over to the gun.
Sure. So you sit down at the
Thank you
console.
very much.
Pull out
All I'm
the
gonna
Lexie.
say,
man.
you had that mic muted for a while because I directly referenced you earlier, and I was thinking
Yeah.
surely you would respond to that.
Yeah.
Lexie,
Either way.
Yep. I would
full
not,
cartographic scan.
not quite. I would say fly around it a bit just to see what the fuck this is before, in case this is.
Hey, hang on.
Yeah.
You want to throw a beacon into it?
No.
See if it bounces off. Yeah, fair enough.
No. Does this thing have its own gravitational pull?
Not that you're reading.
Okay. So
We'll
it's,
back off a bit.
it's absolutely
fully
massive with no
reactive.
gravitational pull, so it's probably hollow.
Well, maybe.
This might be a star system. Let's fly around this and see what the fuck we can see before we start actively scanning this.
Okay.
Sure thing.
You sort of fly parallel and flying across it. You continue to just see nothing. Your entire left side of just the whole view screen is just taken up from. It is taken up by just there is a signal coming from here.
Do we have lights to shine at this thing?
No, let's not do
You
that
can
yet.
see the stars through it.
Yeah, okay, that's fair enough.
Oh, is it a sort of? It's not.
It's completely invisible. You do not see it. Your passive scanners see nothing.
Yeah.
The only thing is, the one scanner that was picking up that signal, that's all
Yeah.
you get. And you are not looking at an object, you're looking at where the signal is coming from. Similar to a light bulb, how it can effectively be said to radiate from all places on the light bulb. It's kind of like
Yeah.
that. But it's...
Does this sort of feel like our other scanner?
What?
Do you know the scanner that we just lost?
The beacon.
Yeah, the beacon. Sorry.
The beacon didn't emit anything. Those are just... they're just ears. They're powerful.
Yes, but we had our. I'm meaning the communication sort of thing between.
No, it's completely alien looking signal to that.
It's not looping or anything like that.
No, this appears to just be... You can't really make out what it is. It's just this kind of weird static, from all you can tell, just in space, just this strange static source.
Let's fly back a bit and then let's scan this, because I do not want to be right next to this in case this is fucking bad.
Yeah, in case it gets mad at us for, just
Yeah.
trying to figure out what it is.
Yeah, because, who would ever fucking do that?
I'll get outside of reasonable gun range
Okay.
and fire up the scanners.
So, you pull back to the kind of distance you would fly to scan a small moon. Because,
Yeah.
you fire up your active scanners and you start scanning at it. Every single one of your scanners, except one, picks up nothing. However, there's one scanner, the SSDDS, Subspace Distortion Detection System, which is, it's actually a multitude of scanners, but what it does is it can pick up the exact shape of an object. And it
Yeah.
doesn't see anything. It sees a very small object. It's not an exact science. Well, it'll pick up topography like mountains. It's picking up an
Yeah.
object far smaller than a mountain, so you can't get more than like a hazy blob. But you're picking
Yeah.
up a hazy blob at what you'd call the center of this. Nothing else around it.
Okay.
What the hell? You want to fly in there?
No, but I think we're going to get a bit of money for this fucking signal.
I want to fly in there. I want to know what the heck this is.
Before you do that, fly about 20 meters away, turn us sideways so the airlock and all that is there, and I'll chuck something at it first in case there's something invisible and we run into it and we fucking die or some bullshit.
Good point. And I'll do exactly that.
Okay, so
Yes.
you pull up alongside whatever this weird static is.
I know what I'm going to chuck out.
What are you chucking
Oh
out?
god, what?
I take a table leg off.
Of course you do.
Oh
I've-
my.
Attach a bit of the same one that we've abused in the past, the one that got into the hard light and all of that.
So
Same one.
you find a familiar-looking table leg, and oh, this'll do. Picks that up, carry it up to the airlock.
Attach a bit of cable or a bit of chain or something and chuck it out at it.
Okay, you sort of tie the cable around it. You're not sure if you'll be able to get this back, but
I want that
It's
fucking table leg back.
it's a table leg. It is expendable. But yeah, getting the table leg back is always good. So you pull it up. You take it to the airlock. You kind of place it on the airlock floor, and then step out. Have the gravity field in the airlock rise it basically so it's up on the door, and then invert the gravity field and basically kick it out, which does very little because it kicks it out the door and then it just sort of floats gently, no longer being accelerated, as it slowly floats along.
Yeah.
Basically, it's being pulled to all of the door frame at once, the external door frame at once, and you just kick it through the middle, like an electron gun thingy. You know what I mean?
It only needs to go about 30-40 meters anyway, so it should be fine.
Well, it's not going to slow down because space.
It'll slow down because of the wire slightly.
Slightly.
Yeah.
But it is moving at kind of speed where it just. And actually, that's a good point. The wire is being pulled out because the wire is still being pulled towards the center of the door frame. The moment it goes past that, though, it's no longer got a force on it.
Oh yeah.
So the wire is spooling itself out, so it's really not being slowed down by that. So it continues
Yeah,
to.
I forgot about that.
And you cut it off when you've got enough wires gone out.
I would imagine I don't cut it off. I just hold it or something. Yeah.
You cut off the grav field, stop it just spooling itself out the window.
Yeah.
Because you can't hold it, you don't have an EVO suit.
Alright, yeah.
As you watch through the little windows, this table leg just floats about 20 meters away, roughly.
Yeah.
Maybe 23.
I'll let it go like 20-30 then, and just go right the way through this
It
thing,
floats,
so we know.
and then you just see this kind of ripple in space-time, and the leg's just gone. And the cable just stops, and you see the cable continue to just go into wherever it is, and it's just cut off.
I put it back.
You see the same sort of ripple. You kind of imagine it will have that kind of feel to it. It kind of looks like that, weirdly.
Does it sort of look like a sort of pebble dropping into water or something like that?
Yeah, kind of. As the table whoop, back out of it. And that's where we're going to take our break.
Right then, I've got a fucking plan.
What the hell is this shit?
So,
I've got
Oh
a
god.
camera. Cat 6 cable or 7 or 10 or whatever the fuck it is. Camera, just chuck it in. Have a wee look.
thanks
Fair
for
enough. See if we can get a signal out.
watching, and we'll catch you in the next part.
See you in the next bit, guys.